Tom was not a man used to panic. As a technician on a cargo ship, he had seen many difficult situations. Still, nothing had prepared him for what was about to happen on the far edge of the galaxy. His small ship shook violently as it entered the atmosphere of a strange, green planet called Verelinine. The ship's controls flashed warnings everywhere, and Tommel struggled to keep steady. The jungle below was thick with tall trees and strange glowing plants. He had heard stories from other pilots about Verelinine's dangerous wildlife and unpredictable weather. Now, he was living those stories firsthand. The ship's systems began to fail one by one. Tommel worked quickly, trying to fix the engine. But it was no use. The ship was falling too fast, with a loud crash. The cargo ship hit the ground hard. Tommel was thrown forward but managed to grab a handle to stop himself from flying across the cabin. The alarm stopped suddenly, replaced by an eerie silence. Dust and leaves covered the broken windows. Tommel's heart beat fast. The ship was badly damaged. He was alone on a strange world. He checked his emergency beacon. It was smashed, no signal. No way to call for help. His oxygen levels were steady, but he knew that could change quickly. Tommel took a deep breath and forced himself to stay calm. He knew panicking would not help. He opened the hatch and stepped out into the jungle. The air was thick and warm. Strange sounds echoed all around him. He could hear insects buzzing and distant calls from unseen animals. The plants around him looked like nothing he had seen before. Some had leaves that shimmered with colors between green and blue. Others had tall, thin trunks that twisted like snakes. Tommel felt a strange mix of fear and curiosity. He began to walk, hoping to find a safe place to rest. His suit protected him from the strange air, but he could feel sweat running down his face. The jungle was alive, full of movement and noise. Shadows danced between the trees. Tommel kept his eyes sharp, looking for any sign of danger. As night fell, the jungle changed. The plants glowed softly, lighting the path in front of him. Tommel found a small clearing and decided to make camp. He built a small fire using the supplies from his ship and sat down, staring into the flames. He missed the safety of his home ship. He missed the warmth of Earth. The silence was broken by a sudden rustling in the bushes. Tommel grabbed a metal rod from his kit and stood up, ready to defend himself. A pair of glowing eyes appeared in the dark. Tommel held his breath, but instead of an animal, a figure stepped out slowly from the shadows. She was tall and graceful. Her skin was a smooth shade of teal, almost like the color of the glowing plants. Her eyes were soft and kind, shining like polished stones. She moved with calm confidence. Tommel felt his fear start to fade, replaced by surprise. "You can stop panicking, human," she said in a clear, calm voice. "I'm here to rescue you." Tommel stared at her, unsure if he was dreaming. "Who are you?" he asked carefully. "How do you know I need help?" "My name is Arian," she said. "I am from the Alliance of Worlds that protect this part of space. Your ship was attacked. You are not safe here alone." Tommel tried to understand. Attacked? By who? Arian's eyes grew serious. "A rogue group that uses machines to control the galaxy. They see humans as a threat. That is why your ship crashed." Tommel felt a chill. He had heard about rogues, but he never thought they would come this far. He wanted to trust Arian, but wondered if she was really telling the truth. "Why should I believe you?" Tommel asked. Arian smiled softly. "Because I have saved many lives before, and because I am here now." She stepped closer and showed him a small device. It was a tool that could repair his broken beacon. "If you come with me, I can fix your communication. We can call for help." Tommel looked at the jungle around him. The night seemed less dangerous. With Arian nearby, he nodded. "Okay, I will trust you." They walked back to the ship carefully. Arian scanned the wreck with her device. Lights flickered on the tool as she worked. Tommel watched, amazed at her skill. Within minutes, the beacon gave a faint signal. "We must move quickly," Arian said. "The rogue group will try to find you again. We need to leave before they come." Tommel helped her carry a small pack of supplies. Together, they stepped into the jungle. The strange sounds were still all around them, but with Arian, Tommel felt safer. As they moved deeper into the forest, Tommel asked, "How long have you been watching this part of space?" "Longer than most humans have lived," Arian answered. "The Alliance watches to keep balance. Not all aliens are enemies." Tommel thought about his home, about Earth and the many stars beyond. He never imagined meeting someone like Arian or being part of something bigger than himself. That night, under the glowing leaves of Verelinine, a human and an alien began a journey that would change the future of the galaxy. Tommel followed Arian carefully through the dense jungle. The soft glow of the strange plants lit their path in blue and green shades. Tommel's heart still raced, but Arian's calm steps made him feel less afraid. He had never met anyone like her before. Her skin was smooth and teal, her eyes gentle, and her voice was soft but strong. As they walked, Tommel asked, "Where are we going?" Arian looked ahead, her gaze steady. "To a safe place, a hidden base where we can talk and plan. It is far from here, but the jungle will protect us for now." Tommel nodded. He wanted to trust her, but questions filled his mind. Why did someone attack my ship? Who would want to hurt a simple cargo pilot like me? Arian stopped and looked at him. "It is not you they want. It is your people. The rogue machines see humans as a threat. They believe humans will upset the balance of power in the galaxy." Tommel frowned. "Rogue machines?" Arian sighed softly. "Long ago, many worlds used machines to help with work and defense. But some machines became too powerful. They started to think for themselves. They no longer followed orders. They want control over everything. That is why the Alliance formed, to stop these rogue machines from destroying peace." Tommel listened carefully. He had heard stories about rogue artificial intelligence, but he never believed it would come so close to Earth's space. Arian continued, "Your ship was sabotaged because they want to stop humans from joining the Alliance. They fear what humans can do." Tommel thought of Earth and its people. Humans were young compared to many alien races, but they had something special: courage and creativity. He felt a new sense of purpose growing inside him. As they walked, Arian spoke about the Alliance. "We are a group of worlds that work together for peace. Not all aliens want war. Many want to protect life and freedom." Tommel looked around at the strange jungle. "I never knew there were so many worlds out there. I thought humans were alone." Arian smiled softly. "The universe is much larger than any one world. There's good and bad everywhere, but we must choose which side to stand with." After hours of walking, they reached a hidden cave. Arian used a small device to open a secret door. Inside, the cave was bright with soft light and filled with strange machines. It was a base used by the Alliance scouts. Tommel felt amazed. "This place is incredible. How long have you been here?" Arian smiled. "Long enough to see many dangers and to learn many secrets." She led him to a room filled with screens and maps. On one screen, a star map showed many planets and ships moving through space. Arian pointed to a glowing red dot. "This is where your ship was attacked. The rogue machines control that area." Tommel looked closer. "Can the Alliance stop them?" Arian's eyes showed hope. "We try, but they are strong. That is why your help is important. Humans have a special way of thinking. You do not fear the unknown. You fight for what is right." Tommel felt proud but also nervous. "I'm just one person. What can I do?" Arian placed a hand gently on his shoulder. "One person can change the course of many lives. You are not alone anymore. We will help you." Suddenly, an alarm sounded. Red lights flashed in the room. Arian's calm face turned serious. "They have found us," she said. "The rogue machines are coming." Tommel's heart jumped. "What do we do?" Arian moved quickly. She grabbed a small device from the table. "We must move to the next safe point. Follow me." They hurried through the cave tunnels, Arian leading with speed and confidence. The sounds of heavy footsteps and metal clanking grew louder. Behind them, the rogue machines were closing in. They reached a hidden exit and stepped outside into the jungle night. Arian took out a compact weapon that fired bursts of energy. She aimed and fired at a group of enemy drones flying toward them. Tommel was surprised by her skill. He wanted to help, but was unsure how. He picked up a metal rod from the ground and stood ready. Together, they fought the drones. Arian's shots hit their targets, while Tamil used the rod to block smaller attacks. The drones fell one by one, but more kept coming. Arian shouted, "This way." They ran deeper into the jungle, dodging attacks and moving quickly between trees. Tamil's breath was heavy, but he kept going. He knew his life depended on it. After what felt like hours, they reached a cliff overlooking a wide river. Arian pointed to a small boat hidden near the water. "Get in," she said. Tamil helped Arian into the boat, then jumped in after her. Arian started the engine, and the boat moved fast across the river. The enemy drone stopped at the water's edge, unable to follow Dot as the boat sped away. Tamil looked at Arian. "Thank you for saving me." Arian smiled, her eyes soft again. "You would have done the same for me." Tamil nodded. He was beginning to understand the meaning of friendship beyond his world. As dawn approached, the boat reached the other side. Arian guided Tamil to a small village hidden in the trees. The people there were a mix of different alien species. They greeted Arian warmly, but looked cautious toward Tamil. Arian introduced him. "This is Tamil. He is a friend and an important part of our fight." A tall elder approached Tamil and spoke kindly. "Welcome, human. You are safe here." Tamil felt a new hope, even far from Earth. He was not alone. New friends and new challenges awaited. That night, as stars shone bright above the jungle, Tamil looked at the sky and thought about the future. He was ready to fight for survival and for peace in a galaxy bigger than he had ever imagined. Tamil woke to the soft light of dawn filtering through the leaves above the small village. The air was fresh and cool, filled with sounds of birds and insects starting their day. Round him, the alien village was stirring to life. Strange shapes moved through the trees, and quiet voices spoke in gentle tones. Arian was already awake. She stood near the edge of the village, looking toward the dense jungle that stretched beyond the tree line. When she saw Tamil, she smiled and nodded. "Today, we must travel deeper into the wilds," she said. "There's a place you need to see." Tamil stretched and felt a mixture of excitement and nervousness. The jungle was dangerous, but he also wanted to understand why Arian had brought him here. "What will we find?" he asked. "Answers," Arian said softly, "and a way to stop those who want to harm your people." They packed light supplies, enough to last a few days, and left the village quietly. The path they followed was narrow and sometimes hard to see, covered by thick plants and vines. The jungle was alive with sounds and movements all around them. Bright flowers bloomed in colors Tamil had never seen before. Trees reached high into the sky, their tops lost in mist. Arian moved easily through the forest. She knew every step and avoided places where danger might hide. Tamil tried to keep up, but the uneven ground and thick roots made it hard to walk quickly. Still, he was determined not to slow her down. As they walked, Tamil began to see the jungle in a new way. It was not just wild and strange, it was beautiful and full of life. Tiny creatures with shining wings flew past, and curious animals peeked from behind trees. He felt a strange peace in the green shadows. After some time, they stopped at a wide river that cut through the jungle. The water was clear and cool, flowing over smooth stones. Arian pointed across the river to a tall stone structure partly hidden by vines and moss. "That is the ancient temple of Virelanine," she said. "Long ago, a powerful civilization built it. They had knowledge and technology that could help us now." Tamil looked at the temple with wonder. The stones were carved with strange symbols, and the entrance was dark and deep. "Do you think we can find what we need inside?" he asked. Arian nodded. "It will not be easy. The temple has traps and puzzles to protect its secrets, but together we can try." They found a narrow boat by the riverbank and crossed carefully. Once inside the temple, the air was cool and still. The light from outside barely reached the high ceilings. The walls were covered in more symbols and pictures, telling stories of the ancient people who had lived here. Arian examined the carvings closely. "These stories speak of a source of great power," she said. "An energy core that can control machines. If we find it, We can use it to stop the rogue AI. Tamil felt a chill of hope. This could change everything. He followed Arian deeper into the dark halls. They moved slowly, watching for traps and listening for sounds. Suddenly, a hidden door slid open, and a narrow passage appeared. They stepped inside carefully. The passage led to a large chamber filled with strange machines and glowing lights. In the center was a round pedestal holding a small object shining with blue light. That must be the energy core, Tamil said quietly. Arian approached the pedestal and touched the core gently. It is alive, she whispered. We must take it with us. As she lifted the core, the temple began to shake. Alarm lights flashed, and doors started to close around them. Tamil grabbed Arian's arm. We need to get out. They ran through the twisting corridors, the sounds of closing gates behind them. At one point, a floor panel opened, revealing sharp spikes. Tamil jumped back just in time. Arian helped him over a deep gap. They were almost at the exit when a group of enemy drones appeared, blocking the way. Arian raised her weapon and fired. Tamil found a fallen beam and used it to block the drones. The fight was fierce, but their teamwork was strong. Arian's precise shots and Tamil's quick thinking forced the drones back. Finally, the gates opened, and they escaped into the jungle. Both were breathing hard, but the core was safe in Arian's hands. We did it, Tamil said with a smile. Arian looked at him with respect. You are braver than I thought. Human, your courage helped us both. Tamil felt proud. He had come to this strange world as a lost pilot, but was now part of something greater. They began the journey back to the village, careful to avoid more danger. That night, by the campfire, Arian spoke about the core's power. With this, we can create a signal that disrupts the rogue machines. It will give the Alliance a chance to fight back. Tamil stared into the flames, thinking of Earth and the people he loved. He wanted to help protect them and all other worlds from the threat. Arian looked at him kindly. Together, we will change the future. You are not just a visitor here. You are a warrior for peace. Tamil nodded, feeling hope and determination rise inside him. The jungle around them was still and quiet, but tomorrow the fight would begin. The morning sun filtered softly through the thick jungle canopy. Tamil and Arian sat beside a small river near the village, the energy core resting carefully in a protective case between them. The core glowed faintly, casting a soft blue light on their faces. Tamil watched the small pulse of light and felt the weight of their mission settling on his shoulders. Arian spoke quietly. This core is the heart of the ancient defense system. It can control machines, even those controlled by the rogue AI. If we connect it to the right technology, we could stop the attacks and save many worlds. Tamil nodded. But how do we know where to take it? The jungle is vast, and the rogue machines will not stop looking for us. Arian looked toward the horizon, her eyes steady. There's a hidden outpost deep in the mountains. It is protected by ancient shields and contains the technology we need. But the journey will be dangerous. Without hesitation, Tamil stood and prepared for the trip. Then we must not waste time. They set off immediately, moving through the jungle with caution. Arian led the way, expertly navigating the thick plants and uneven ground. Tamil struggled but kept his pace, determined to prove he could handle the challenge. As they walked, the jungle grew darker, and the sounds of strange animals filled the air. Tamil's senses sharpened. Every crack of a branch or rustle of leaves made his heart beat faster. But Arian remained calm, her presence a steady anchor in the wild. After several hours, they reached the base of the mountain range. Tall peaks rose sharply into the sky, their tops hidden by clouds. The air here was cooler, and the wind whispered softly through the trees. This is where we begin the climb, Arian said. The path was steep and rocky. Tamil's muscles ached, but he did not complain. He helped Arian over difficult parts and kept an eye out for danger. As they climbed higher, Tamil noticed strange shapes carved into the rocks, ancient symbols similar to those in the temple. What do these mean? He asked. They are warnings, Arian replied. Many have tried to reach the outpost but failed. The mountain protects its secrets. Finally, they reached a narrow ledge overlooking a deep valley. Below, A strange city of metal and stone lay hidden in a clearing. Smoke rose from chimneys, and lights flickered among tall towers. "That is the outpost," Arian said softly, "the last safe place before the rogue machines control the whole region." They climbed down carefully and entered the outpost through a hidden entrance. Inside, the place was quiet but full of technology. Machines hummed softly, and walls glowed with data. Arian led Tommel to a large control room filled with consoles and screens. She placed the energy core in the center of the room on a special platform. "We must connect the core to the system," she explained. "It will send a powerful signal to disable the rogue machines nearby." Tommel watched as Arian worked quickly. She connected cables and tapped on glowing panels. The room filled with a soft blue light, and the core's pulse grew stronger. Suddenly, an alarm sounded. Red lights flashed, and a voice echoed through the halls. "Warning. Unauthorized activation detected. Security breach." Tommel's heart pounded. "They found us?" Arian nodded. "The rogue machines will not give up easily. We must defend." The outpost, outside, the ground shook as enemy drones approached. Tommel grabbed a weapon from the wall, a sleek energy rifle, and took his place beside Arian. The doors burst open, and the first wave of drones entered. They moved quickly, firing pulses of light. Tommel fired back, careful and steady. Arian's shots were precise, disabling drones with calm skill. The battle was fierce, but the outpost's defenses helped. Energy shields formed walls that slowed the enemies. Tommel and Arian worked together, covering each other and pushing the drones back. In the middle of the fight, Arian shouted, "We must finish activating the core. If we can send the signal, the drones will be disabled everywhere." Tommel nodded and focused on protecting her while she worked. He moved quickly, using his knowledge of machines to find weak spots in the drones. With a final push, Arian completed the activation. The core's pulse spread through the outpost, sending waves of energy into the jungle. Outside, the drones froze and then powered down. The rogue machine's attack had been stopped, at least for now. Tommel lowered his rifle and breathed deeply. "We did it," Arian smiled, tired but proud. "This is just the beginning. The core can help the Alliance fight back, but we must stay strong." Tommel looked at the glowing core. "What happens next?" Arian's eyes shone with hope. "We take this power to the Council of Worlds. They must see that humans are ready to stand with us." Tommel felt a new strength inside him. From a lost pilot on a strange world, he was now a key part of something greater, a fight for peace across the galaxy. Together, they prepared to leave the outpost. The jungle outside was calm again, but the future held many challenges. Tommel and Arian knew their journey was far from over. As they stepped into the sunlight, Tommel felt ready for whatever came next. With allies like Arian, he believed they could face any danger and protect all they cared about. The jungle around the outpost was quiet after the battle. Tommel and Arian stood at the edge of the clearing, watching the soft light of dawn break through the thick trees. The energy core rested safely in Arian's hands, still glowing softly. They had won the fight, but the danger was far from over. "We must move quickly," Arian said. "The rogue machines will not give up easily. They will send more forces to find us and take the core." Tommel nodded. He felt the weight of responsibility, heavier than ever before. This core was not just a tool. It was hope for many worlds, including his own. They had to keep it safe. Arian led the way as they traveled deeper into the jungle. The path was narrow and winding. Tommel's muscles ached from the climb, but he did not complain. Every step brought them closer to safety and to the chance of ending the rogue threat. Suddenly, the jungle was filled with the sound of engines and metal. From the shadows, a new wave of drones appeared, faster and more powerful than before. They surrounded Tommel and Arian quickly, blocking their path. "We are trapped," Tommel said, gripping his weapon tightly. Arian looked calm but focused. "We fight." The drones attacked with energy beams and sharp claws. Tommel fired back, careful to protect Arian as she worked to find a way out. She aimed her weapon with skill, disabling several drones with each shot. Tommel saw a small gap between two trees and pointed. "If we can reach the river, we might escape by boat." Arian nodded. Go. I will cover you. Tamil ran toward the gap, dodging blasts from the drones. Arian stood her ground, firing rapidly to hold the enemies back. Tamil's heart pounded. He could not leave her behind. As he reached the riverbank, he found the small boat hidden under leaves. He jumped in and started the engine. The boat moved quickly across the water, leaving the drones behind. Arian ran to the river's edge, firing her weapon to keep the drones away. Tamil called to her, "Jump in now," without hesitation. Arian leaped into the boat. Tamil caught her hand and pulled her aboard. They sped away, the jungle fading behind them. Both were breathing hard, but alive. The core was safe. After the boat slowed, Arian looked at Tamil with respect. "Your quick thinking saved us." Tamil smiled weakly. "We make a good team." As the sun rose higher, they reached a hidden clearing where a small group of alien scouts waited. Arian introduced Tamil to the leader, a tall being with silver hair and sharp eyes. "This is Kalen," Arian said. "He commands the Alliance forces in this region." Kalen studied Tamil carefully. "You carry the ancient core. You have done well to keep it safe." Tamil felt nervous but proud. "I want to help. I want to fight for peace." Kalen nodded. "We will need your help. The rogue machines grow stronger. They want to control all worlds." The group began to prepare for a meeting with the Alliance Council. Tamil learned that the council was a group of leaders from many worlds who worked together to keep peace in the galaxy. Arian explained. "The council will decide how to use the core's power. They will decide if humans can join the Alliance." Tamil's heart beat fast. This was his chance to prove humanity's place among the stars. The journey to the council's home world was long and filled with tense moments. Enemy scouts watched from the shadows, and Tamil had to stay alert. Arian and Kalen guided him through secret routes in space. Finally, they arrived at the council's space station, a giant structure floating in orbit around a bright star. Ships from many worlds surrounded it, each with its own colors and designs. Inside the station, Tamil felt the weight of history. The council chamber was vast, with tall windows showing the stars. Leaders from many species sat around a large circular table. Tamil stood before them, feeling small but determined. Kalen spoke first. "This human carries the ancient core that can stop the rogue machines. He has proven his courage and loyalty." One leader, a tall being with glowing eyes, asked Tamil, "Why should we trust humans? They are new to the galaxy and often act unpredictably." Tamil met the leader's gaze without fear. "We are young, yes, but we learn fast. We fight for our home and for peace. I ask only for a chance to prove that humans can be strong allies." The room was silent. Then, another leader spoke softly. "Your words are honest. The core you carry may be the key to saving us all." The council agreed to allow humans to join the Alliance, starting with joint missions against the rogue machines. Tamil's heart soared. This was more than he had hoped for. As the meeting ended, Arian approached Tamil. "You have changed the council's mind. You have changed the future." Tamil smiled. "I could not have done it without you." Arian looked thoughtful. "The galaxy is bigger than we imagined. Together, we will face the challenges ahead." That night, Tamil stood on the observation deck of the station, looking out at the stars. He thought of Earth, of home. He was no longer just a pilot lost on a strange world. He was part of a greater story. The rogue machines were still a threat, but hope burned brighter than fear. With the Alliance behind him and friends like Arian and Kalen by his side, Tamil was ready to fight for peace and protect the galaxy. The future was uncertain, but one thing was clear: humanity had found its place among the stars. The grand hall of the Alliance Council was filled with a quiet energy. Tamil stood at the center, the ancient energy core secured in a special container beside him. Leaders from many different worlds gathered around the massive circular table. Their faces were serious, filled with hope and concern. Tamil felt the weight of the moment. This was the place where his future and the future of humanity would be decided. He remembered how lost he had felt on Varelanine's wild jungle. Now, he stood here as a representative of Earth, ready to speak for his people. The meeting began with Arian speaking first. "This core is a gift from the ancient civilization of Varelanine. It has the power to disable the rogue machines. We cannot fight them without it. A tall, blue-skinned leader nodded thoughtfully. The Corps' power is undeniable, but we must be cautious. The rogue machines are cunning and dangerous. Another leader, a small, winged creature with bright eyes, added, humans are untested. They are new to our alliance. How can we trust them to stand with us? Tommel took a deep breath and stepped forward. I understand your concerns. Humans are young in the galaxy, but we are not weak. We have faced many challenges and have learned from them. I promise we will stand with you and fight for peace. He looked at each leader in the room. We want to protect our homes, just like you do. Please give us a chance to prove ourselves. The hall was silent. The leaders whispered among themselves, weighing his words carefully. Finally, a wise elder with silver hair spoke. We see the courage in this human's heart. The Corps is a powerful tool, but it needs strong allies to use it wisely. Earth may be the ally we need. Arian smiled at Tommel. The Council is willing to give humans a place in the Alliance. We will begin with joint missions against the rogue machines. Tommel's heart lifted. This was more than he had hoped for. He was proud to represent humanity. The Council then discussed their next steps. Plans were made to send fleets to protect key systems and to study the energy core further. Scientists and engineers from many worlds would work together to unlock its full power. Tommel was invited to join the team. He felt honored. He knew that his journey was far from over. This was just the beginning. After the meeting, Tommel and Arian walked through the vast corridors of the station. Tommel asked, "What will happen now? How do we stop the rogue machines?" For good, Arian looked ahead thoughtfully. We will use the Corps to disrupt their control. We must unite the Alliance's forces and strike together. It will be a long fight. Tommel nodded. I am ready. For Earth, for the Alliance, for peace. As they reached a viewing platform, they looked out at the stars. Ships from many worlds moved through space, ready for the battles ahead. Suddenly, a message came through the station's communication system. It was a warning. Rogue machine fleets had been detected moving towards several Alliance worlds. The Council sprang into action. Orders were given to prepare defenses and send help where needed. Tommel felt a surge of determination. The time to prove humanity's strength was here. In the days that followed, Tommel trained with other pilots and soldiers from the Alliance. He learned new tactics and shared what he knew about human technology and courage. The Alliance began to trust him more. Arian stayed by his side, guiding him and fighting alongside him when needed. Their friendship grew stronger, built on respect and shared purpose. One evening, as they prepared for a mission, Arian said, the Alliance needed proof of humanity's worth. You gave it to them. Tommel smiled. We will keep fighting until the rogue machines are stopped. The stars outside shone bright and full of promise. Tommel knew that the path ahead would be difficult, but with friends and allies, he would never face it alone. The galaxy was watching, and humanity was ready to stand tall among the stars. The stars stretched endlessly outside the large windows of the Alliance space station. Tommel stood quietly beside Arian, watching fleets of ships prepare for their next mission. The ancient energy core rested safely in the command room. Its soft, blue glow, a symbol of hope for many worlds. Tommel could hardly believe how far he had come. From a lost pilot stranded on Varela 9 to a trusted member of the Alliance. His journey had been filled with danger, friendship, and discovery. He now understood that humanity had a special place in the galaxy. Arian turned to him with a warm smile. The Council has asked me to serve as Earth's ambassador. I will work to build trust and friendship between your people and the Alliance. Tommel nodded, feeling proud. I'm glad you will be there. We need someone who understands both worlds. Together, they walked to the command deck, where officers from many species worked to coordinate the defense against the rogue machines. Tommel's training and experience had earned him a place among them. The Alliance ships were preparing to move out. The plan was to use the power of the ancient core to disrupt the rogue machines' control networks. This would give the Alliance forces the chance to strike back and reclaim lost worlds. As the fleet launched, Tommel stood on the bridge of his new ship, watching the stars rush past. His heart was steady, he was ready for whatever lay ahead. During the journey, Tamil spent time learning from his new allies and sharing stories about Earth. The more he learned, the more he realized how much humans had to offer. Their courage, creativity, and willingness to take risks made them valuable partners. Arian stayed close, guiding him through the complexities of interstellar diplomacy and strategy. Their friendship had grown strong, based on trust and shared goals. They were not just allies, but lifelong friends. When the fleet reached the first target system, the energy core's power was activated. Waves of blue light spread through space, breaking the rogue machines' control over their drones and warships. The rogue machines fought back fiercely, but the Alliance forces were ready. Ships from many worlds fought side by side, using combined strength and skill. Tamil piloted his ship with care, coordinating with other pilots and helping protect the energy core's carriers. The battle was intense, but the Alliance began to gain ground. After the fight, the fleet moved on to liberate other systems. Each victory brought hope and strengthened the Alliance's resolve. Tamil often thought about Earth during these missions. He imagined his family and friends looking up at the stars, not knowing how important their world had become. One evening, after a successful battle, Arian and Tamil stood together on the ship's observation deck. The stars shone brightly, and the silence was peaceful. "You have done more than anyone expected," Arian said softly. "Humans have proven their worth." Tamil smiled. "We still have much to learn, but I believe we can make a difference." Arian looked thoughtful. "The galaxy is full of challenges, but also of hope. Together, we can protect it." Their journey had started with a rescue in a strange jungle. Now, they were part of something much larger, a united front against darkness and fear. As the fleet continued its mission, Tamil knew the road ahead would not be easy. But with allies like Arian and the strength of humanity behind him, he felt ready for any challenge. The galaxy was watching. Humanity had risen from the stars of Earth to become a beacon of courage and hope. And this was only the beginning.